So today I'm going to show you how to make a healing circle, an ancient ways healing circle. So a healing circle is used for many things, but for me it's used to honor the natural rhythms of life, the seasons, the cycles of the moon, the equinox, the solstice, but also the cycles of our life. And it's a way to focus our attention on a daily basis on what's happening in nature and also what's happening inside of ourselves, and to find meaning in that on a daily basis. It also is a way for me to every day start my day by centering myself and grounding myself and reminding myself of what is really important. So why do we call it a healing circle? What is this word healing? And the healing is about looking at the vital, inherent power and truth in nature that is also in ourselves. It's about looking at the wholeness of nature and then realizing we have that wholeness in ourselves. So it's also about listening to nature, listening deeply to nature, and in so doing, listening deeply to the inner teacher and inner wisdom in ourselves. So in a healing circle, we use the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. So one thing you're going to need to do is try to figure out which way is north, south, east, and west. So the easiest way to do that is to figure out where the sun rises and where the sun sets, because the sun always rises in the east and it always sets in the west. So if you can notice where the sun rises, then that's the east, and the opposite, and where the sun sets, is the west. And with the 4 directions in a healing circle, the 4 directions symbolize many things. They symbolize the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, there's the 4 moon phases. There's essential qualities that go with every different direction, and we'll be talking about those qualities as we set up the circle. So let's get started. There are a few things you're going to have to think about in order to get your healing circle started. You can make a healing circle outside, and you can make it quite large. You can even make it so a whole group of people can fit within the circle and sit within the circle. Or you can make it outside and make it small but permanent. Or you can make it inside. And today I'm going to teach you how to make a small portable healing circle. So the other thing you're going to have to gather is, and just make a decision on, is what stones you're going to want to use. And you can use a variety of different stones. If you're outside, you can use very large stones to symbolize the 4 and to mark the 4 directions. Inside, you can use very smooth stones, like river stones, like this, that are that you can just collect, or we actually provide them at Ancient Ways Botanicals. And what I'm going to use today is semi-precious stones. So I'm going to be using small semi-precious gems in order to, because they have certain qualities also that I like for the different directions of a portable healing circle. The other thing you're going to need is a piece of fabric, and it should be a piece of fabric, if you can, that's a natural fabric. And this is a piece of silk. So we're going to be using silk today. You can use muslin, and you can also use cotton. Those are all natural fibers. And you may also want to have a basket, because you can set up your healing circle in a basket so that you can move it around from place to place in your home. So that wherever you want to do your practice that day, you can move your healing circle to. So today I'm just going to set it up with the fabric. So let's start, and you always start in the east, and that really makes sense if you think about it. That's where the sun rises, and so it's the beginning of the day, and it's the beginning of your healing circle. So we're going to start with a piece of citrine to the east. And the reason we're going to, and I know this is the east in this house, the east is, the sun rises in this direction, so this is the east. So this is a piece of citrine, and the reason we're using citrine is that it's a yellow stone and it has the qualities that are similar to the eastern direction. So let's talk about some of the qualities of the east. The east symbolizes the spring, new growth, emergence, renewal, awareness, consciousness, love, the yellow light of love. It also symbolizes songbirds. That's the animal symbol for the east, and that makes sense because you hear songbirds singing in the morning. And the season is the spring, and it also, so in that time is the spring equinox. And so that is the east. East. Okay, and now we're going to move to the south, and the south is symbolized by the color red, and this stone is a carnelian, and the south is symbolized by the element of fire, and by the animal, the wolf, and the season of summer. And the qualities of it are passion, creativity, those things that remind you of fieriness, transformation, courage, strength is a symbol for the south. So that is the carnelian and the color red and south. And then we're going to move to the west. And the west is symbolized by blue, the color blue. And this stone is a lapis lazuli, and lapis lazuli is often used in healing ceremonies, and it symbolizes water. And the symbols of water are harmony, tranquility, peace. It's really very much about peace, and it's not just peace it's finding the power in peace and letting go in peace. And it's about flow, those sorts of things. And it's fall, the season of fall and autumn. So that is the west. And then to the north, the color is green. The symbol is the stone is malachite. And the animal is the owl, and the north and the season is the winter. The qualities for the north are about the earth. The element is earth, so it's about the goddess earth and the oneness of us all that comes from this amazing earth. The healing, it's very deep healing power of the earth. It's also compassion, and green is a symbol for compassion as well. So winter and north. Okay, so then the last thing you do for the cardinal directions and the directions is the center direction, which is where we're going to use a quartz crystal point that points up. You want it to point up. And the quartz crystal is symbolic of protection, and the center is symbolic of the color white, actually, and it's about the uniqueness of being. It's about the authenticity of being a human and the connection between groundedness and the earth and the spirit of the sky, and so that connection right in the center. And so the qualities for the center are the uniqueness of being, protection, and healing. And you can just stop right there if you want to with your healing circle. It's a beautiful symbol right there for you to work with in your practices. Or you can add the ordinal directions. So let's talk about the ordinal directions. We're going to use crystal points also, quartz crystal points for those as well. And the one you start with is the southeast, so between the east and the south. So if this is spring and this is fall, excuse me, this is spring and this is summer, this would be the midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. And it symbolizes really the first days of summer, the beginnings of the growing time of year, the beginning of planting time. And the next, and it's also called Beltane in the Celtic calendar, and in our calendar, it's what we call May Day. So then the next direction is between the south and the west, and that cardinal direction in the Celtic calendar is called Lunasa, and it's symbolizing the harvest between summer and autumn, so the end of the growing season and pulling in the harvest. And then we move from between the west and the north, so the northwest, and this crystal point is this ordinal direction is symbolic of what's called Samhain in the Celtic calendar, and it's similar. It's at the time of year of our Halloween, or what people call All Souls Day, and it's a time when all over the world people believe that there's a thinning of the veil between the spirit world and the living world, and so there's many different celebrations. In Mexico, it's the Day of the Dead. So all over the world there's celebrations for that time of the year. And then between the north and the east, we have another ordinal point, and that is called Imbolc, and it's symbolic of the it's similar to our Candlemas. It's on the same day as Candlemas, and it symbolizes the very beginning of spring, of new growth, of new beginnings. So there you have it, a beautiful healing circle that you can use whenever you want as a place to focus your attention and focus your learning and your reflection practices, and to really pay attention to nature and what you can learn from nature. So you can find out more about the ceremonies that you can use on a daily basis using a healing circle at our website. Here's our website, and we have articles and information on how to do those ceremonies, and also videos. So you can go there to find those things. And I hope you enjoy your time using your healing circle. Take care. Bye-bye.